Nasa linya na po natin ngayon ang former DPWH Secretary noon pong panahon ni dating Pangulong Corazon Aquino. Former DPWH Secretary Jose Ping de Jesus. Magandang umaga po, sir.
Magandang umaga.
Good morning po, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you po sa pagising po na maaga para po dito sa aming programa. Sir, una muna, sinabi nga po ni Secretary Vince Dizon na nagkaroon po kayo kamakailan lamang ng parang meeting kasama din po si dating DPWH Secretary Babes at sinasabi po kasi dito ni Sec Vince Dizon na kailangan daw po niya ng tulong ng mga dating DPWH secretaries. Pwede po ba naming malaman kung ano po ang napagmitingan nyo last time?
Yes, oo. Actually, we zeroed in on 3 areas. No? Number 1 is the urgent task of cleaning the department of all the bad eggs. I think that's the most. We read that every day in the papers, and that consists of identifying and suspending and filing charges against those with the probable cause of involvement in the projects, as well as other projects that may surface. No, and then also look at the mga contractors, those involved in these anomalous transactions or projects. Should be identified and blacklisted. Maybe depending on the severity of their involvement, some may be blacklisted for months or years, and others may have to be blacklisted forever, for life. No? And so that you clean the ranks of both your internal staff as well as your external contractors. That's one of the items we discussed. And then not only to file charges against those with probable cause of involvement, but to identify and promote those that are deserving, para namang yung ma-restore yung moral ng internal staff, no? Because if you're looking at all nothing but the bad eggs, you have to look at the good eggs as well. Oh. Then the other area is to look at to revisit mga internal policies and procedures. For example, with respect to bidding, to make sure that the bidding is done. With integrity. Then, alam mo, one of the practices of some contractors is to subcontract part of the project. The suggestion yesterday among us was to prohibit, as a matter of policy, subcontracting of projects. And then, of course, yung qualification ng contractors, both their financial, manpower, and equipment resources, so that only those that are able to execute the project properly are allowed to bid for projects. And the next, another item was to organize a quality assurance team, so that before a project or projects are accepted and paid for, they should be inspected by that team. And if they turn out to be substandard, the contractor must be made to redo the project at his own expense. That way, you discourage even the giving of bribes or shortcutting the materials used in implementing a project. And since Secretary Vince is now in the process of reviewing his budget, 2026 budget, we suggested that he include an item to fund a strong quality assurance team. And of course, the third item we talked about was how to manage the political pressure. Because that can be sometimes very disruptive. And what we agreed on or talked about was, for that, the secretary needs the strong 101 support, and not only support but visible support of the president. Yun ang pinaka-importante dyan. Because if you don't have the president's support, you are like you're going to have a hard time.
Opo. Importante yun kasi nga yung political pressure, mamaya magdetalye ho tayo tungkol dyan. Pero, Sec, Ping, kasi po, kung ating kikwentahin, 1987, after the EDSA Revolution, kailan ba kayo na-appoint po as DPWH Secretary specifically? Anong year po yun?
1990.
Okay, 1990.
I was number 5 among the secretaries of public works.
Mm-hmm.
It started with Secretary Mercado from Bulacan, and then I think Secretary Jaime, and then Secretary Ferrer, Janet Ferrer, and then Secretary Estuar, and I was the 5th in the last 18 months of President Cory's administration.
Opo. So,
and then I asked, President Ramos asked me to stay on, and I served under his administration for another 8 months.
Okay. Opo. So, Sec Ping, nung panahon po ninyo, ito hong usapin ng corruption sa public works, nandun na po ito ba?
Actually, Ted, the situation I entered then is incredibly different from the one that Secretary Vince is entering.
Mm-hmm.
There was no corruption being talked about. Well, there was some, but not at the scale that is now happening or being talked about.
Mm-hmm.
My entry into DPWH was very easy because of my work in the Development Academy of the Philippines, or DAP. I knew most of the senior officers of the Department of Public Works, not only Department of Public Works, but other agencies of government, because most of them went through the Career Executive Service Development Training Program, which I was handling in the DAP.
Opo.
So I knew most of them already.
Opo. Pero Sec, during your time, hindi ho ba ganun pa rin po, dadaan kayo sa budget process sa Kongreso? And nung panahon yon, yung political pressure sa paglalaan po ng proyekto sa bawat distrito po o sa mga parochial concern ng mga congressman, nung panahon yon, meron na po bang ganun po na mga identification o kaya po insertion?
Yes. No, not insertion. Actually, the President allowed congressmen to have a limited amount for their pet projects. And not beyond, they don't go beyond that. It was very well managed and very well controlled.
Opo. Pero,
I cannot recall, Ted, how much it was, but it was a small amount, maybe like 5 million, something like that.
Opo. Pero nung panahong yon, bagamat kaninyo wala kayo masyadong na-encounter na usapin po ng korupsyon, pero meron na pong mga usapin ng mga pangungumisyon sa ilang pong government projects.
Mayroon na, pero it was very limited. Actually, when I entered the department, Ted, I met the senior officers, undersecretaries and assistant secretaries, and some of the regional directors that were within Luzon. And I said, you know, our department has been quite notorious about corruption.
Mm-mm.
And I said, but from today, I am assuming everybody is honest. But if I get a report of anybody that is involved in a corruption, I will go after you, sabi ko. I will file charges against you. And really, we'll really go after you. Ako. You know, Ted, I think by and large, without hindi ako nagyayabang, but I think the corruption was really quite negligible during that time.
Opo. Kasi din that time ho, ang budget po ng pambansang budget ay hindi po naman din ganoon kalaki. Di po ba sa public works, if you also remember, Secretary?
It was very small. I cannot remember how much it was. But it had a what we call unfunded portion. In other words, subject to availability of funds. You know, the budget that I used for the flyover, that was not in the original budget. But whenever, since Secretary Stanislao was then the Secretary of Finance, I asked him that if there are savings in the government, if there are government savings, could he allocate it to the public works so I can fund some of the projects that remain unfunded. And he did. So since that, in other words, I had the authority to spend so much subject to the availability of the funds.
Opo. And that time po, sir, nasa DPWH na po si Secretary Bonoan.
Yes, he was an assistant secretary.
Okay. So, kumbaga, kapag pinag-usapan natin ang public works, talagang doon na po nagsimula ang karir nga nito si Secretary Bonoan. Ano ho ba, kasi nga, kumpara noon ang budget at ngayon na sa DPWH pa lang, trilyon na ho yung budget itong nagdaan 2025. So, paano ho ba sa tingin po ninyo ang naging pagkukulang, with all due respect sa mga nagdaan dyan, kung bakit naging ganito na katalamak ang problema? Na halos lahat ho ng proyekto meron ng aligasyon ng pangungumisyon o korupsyon, Secretary. Bakit po naging ganito na sa ngayon sobrang lalim, sobrang lawak na po ng problema?
Yeah, siguro actually to be fair with to Manny Bonoan, Secretary Manny, I think he's an honest person. I don't think he's corrupt. Maybe what he did, what he lacked was proper supervision and management of the people under him. Siguro nagkulang siya doon. He may have trusted them too much. That's a possibility.
Opo. And ano ho ba ang dapat na style ng, sorry po kasi bawat secretary, kanya-kanya rin po yan ng estilo, di po ba ano? Pero sa inyo pong experience, ano ba ang dapat na style ng isang secretary? Sa ganito pong...
I had...
Go ahead.
I had my homegrown style, Ted. Sabi, tutok, pukpok. Kailangan hands-on ng secretary. He should know what's going on in his department. And I went to the different regions. I visited the regions during my time. I did not stay. I did not sit behind my desk in the head office. I was out most of the time.
So you were out because you inspected projects personally?
Yes, I did. What I failed to do, which I thought of only after the last few days or months of my tenure there, was I was really planning to have every regional director keep a logbook of every project that is being implemented or executed within his territory. It's like a doctor has a logbook for every patient. and he sees there what's happening on a continuing basis to the project or to the patient, if it's in the case of the doctor. So that way you can monitor the progress and what's happening to the project that are under implementation.
Dati ho ba meron ng
Saka
flood?
yung saka Ted, let me add, I inherited from Secretary Estuar the quality assurance team. He had organized teams composed of young engineers who will inspect projects before they are accepted. And they report to the head office, not to the regions or the districts. And if the project turns out to be substandard, the contractor had to redo it at his own expense.
Okay, so para meron kayong internal na auditor, ganun po.
Yes, yes.
Opo. Yung din po ang inyong suggestion ngayon dito po kay Secretary Vince, ano po. Sec, yung panahon niyo ho ba may mga flood control projects na?
Flood control?
Opo.
Mayroon. Especially during the lahar, during the
Pinatubo.
There was a lot of dredging work being done. Unfortunately, what happened there? In some cases, we would dredge some of the rivers of the lahar, and then it would rain hard, and the lahar on the mountainside would be remobilized and then flow down again and cover the river again. And in some cases, the contractor, the auditor, would not clear the payment of the project, which the contractor already did before the lahar was remobilized. And so I asked the contractors to sue the department, to file civil cases against the department, and most of them were paid, were cleared by the in the court.
Opo. Meron na ho bang master plan dati ng sa flood for Metro Manila? Do you recall? Or even in Central Luzon?
No, but what I did, one of the first things I did when I was appointed there was to clean the esteros and the outfalls in Metro Manila. For example, Ted, doon sa Sampaloc, during rainy season, the flood waters there stays for many days and weeks. It does not subside. When I got there, I checked. That happened during my time, and I checked we have a pumping station in Arroceros, where the water from Sampaloc should be pumped out to Manila Bay. And so I looked at that, and there was no water coming to that pumping station. So what happened was because the Estero de Quiapo was completely silted. That's one example, very good example of. And once it was cleaned, Sampaloc still got flooded, but the water subsided quite fast because it was able to flow to Manila Bay through the Estero de Quiapo. You'd be surprised the kinds of things we find in those esteros. You find broken chairs, old tires,
same.
even
refrigerator, yun po yun, no?
Yeah.
Opo, yes.
Ganun.
Hanggang ngayon po, ganun pa rin po, Secretary, ang itinatapon sa ating mga estero. Anyway,
yes,
opo.
ang kailangan lang dyan, Ted, there should be regular cleaning. At that time kasi, yung flood control was under DPWH. I think it's now under MMDA. Kailangan niya regular cleaning because there are so many people living along these esteros, and the tendency is to throw garbage there. And so, unless you can stop that, you have to just continue cleaning those esteros.
Opo. Yung nga po kasi sabi nga yung pasaway ng mga Pilipino, ang iba diyan hangga't buhay pasaway pa rin, ano? Talagang walang disiplina kung hindi natin gagawin yung ating po naman tungkulin na linisin itong mga pasaway na ito, yung kanilang,
That's
yung
right.
kanilang ginagawa, magbabar at magbabar. Anyway, Sec, ganito po, no? Nung panahon po ninyo, more than 30 years ago, kaya ho nagkaroon ng pagbabago sa administrasyon, sa gobyerno, kasi nga ang issue corruption, di po ba? Kaya ho nag-people power
Yes.
one corruption. Umupo po
Correct.
kayo kasama ng iba pang mga miyembro ng gabinete at ang inyo pong supposed to be naging kampanya rin nga, malinis ang gobyerno, magkaroon po ng tamang serbisyo sa bayan. Ngayon po, higit ng 30 years ang nakakaraan. Ito pa rin ang pinag-uusapan natin, pero mas malala ito ngayon. Sabi nga mismo ng Pangulong Marcos, no? Itong lalim ng korupsyon, lalo na po sa public works. Nasaan ho ang problema ng bayan na ito, Secretary Ping? Parang hindi ho tayo natuto sa mga nagdaan.
Ted, very deep-rooted yan. It starts with the extreme poverty of many people. You know, during elections, if I were a family man and a politician comes to me and gives me 5,000 pesos when I have a hard time feeding my family, I would take that in exchange for voting for him. So then the politician, because he has to buy votes, he needs a lot of money. So where will he get that money? If there is no legitimate source, he will probably have to resort to illegitimate legitimate source. So that's looking at it from a sociological point of view, no? Because my training is social sciences. So that's neither here nor there. In other words, you're not justifying it, but you're trying to explain why there is so much corruption. So what we're doing now is trying to control it at a level above its roots. And I don't know how long it will last. As long as the people continue to be outraged by corruption, I think it will remain under control. But when that outrage, subsides or ceases, baka babalik na naman yan. Because the roots still remains.
Parang ano ho yata ito, Sec? Parang kasi parang chicken and egg ito eh.
That's true. That's true, Ted.
Opo. Di ba? Yung poverty ho, nandidiyan po't nandidiyan. And ano ho ito, Sec eh. Kapag pinag-usapan natin ang kahirapan, lagi nilang katwiran yan. Kaya po, this will reflect, mawalang galang lang po, no? Will reflect on the quality of our voters to elect the kind of people that we have now in government.
Yes. And you might say, since you talk about chicken and egg, the reason people probably are poor is because the money is being stolen. That should go to their, to creating more employment, etc.
Opo. So, ano ang remedyo dito, Sec?
It's a long-term remedy, Sec. You need to have a continuous, succeeding administrations that cannot be remedied, I think, by one administration. That has to be sustained by several years.
May tanong lang po si Chacha, Sec. May tanong lang po si Chacha. Ito nakababata. Go ahead, Cha.
Yes po. Sec, bago ko pupuntahan yung mensahe nyo para sa mga kabataan na dapat mas matindi yung pagtutok dito sa mga eksenang ito na sinasabi nyo nga rin po mas malala compared to before. May nabanggit po kayo kanina dun sa naging meeting nyo po kay Secretary Vince Dizon. Ilan po dyan sabi nyo nga clean ranks, file charges dun sa mga posibleng kasapakat dito po sa flood control projects na maanomalya, promote those who are deserving, and then nakalagay din po dito, sinasabi nyo kanina na pinatitignan din yung internal policies and procedures sa pag-bid para po masiguro na it is done with integrity. So ibig sabihin po nito, sa dami ng kailangan pong asikasuhin at ayusin ni Sec Vince dito po sa ahensya, you will be working with him hand by hand hanggang sa hindi po panatatapos itong paglilinis sa DPWH at pagpapanagot dun po sa mga
Morning.
involved?
Yeah, good morning, Chacha.
Yes
Of
po.
course, as long as he needs me, if he asks for my help, but I try not to give unsolicited advice. If I'm asked, certainly I will help him.
Oo. So, sir, kung sakaling kayo po ang tatanungin, kung sakali lang hingang kayo ng advice dito ni Secretary Vince, organized quality assurance. Sa ngayon po kasi, ang nag-check ng mga projects natin is also the district engineers, kung tapos ba, maayos ba. Pagdating po dito sa quality assurance na gagawin po sa DPWH, mas okay po kaya kung pribado na sektor ang mag-check po nito, wag na under
okay.
DPWH?
Yeah, one of the suggestions of Secretary Babes is to engage the community organizations and church organizations in monitoring projects within their areas. I think that will help, no? But what I was talking about was like quality assurance team within the department under the office of the secretary, not in the district. Because that would be self-serving, no? It has to be from central office.
Tama po, opo. And then, last na lang sir, kasi nabanggit nyo rin po na napag-usapan po how to manage political pressure. Ano po naging advice nyo kay Secretary Vince dito?
Alam mo, I'm very glad to see that I think he has the full support of the President. Because with that full support, half of the battle is won. And the President has to make it known that he has the back of Sec Vince. Otherwise, mahihirapan siya in dealing with political pressure.
Opo. Sec Ping, just to refresh you, opo, I hope you don't mind me reminding you na during your time, 1990, 1990 ang budget ng DPWH based on official documents is 12,476,445,000 in the entire department na po ito, 12.4 billion.
Yes.
Opo, ito po yun.
That's correct.
Opo.
That's about it, Ted.
Opo.
I thought it was even less than that.
Okay.
But
So ngayon, 35 years after, ang budget na po ng DPWH is 1.113 trillion pesos.
That's correct.
Opo.
Can you imagine?
Opo.
Where do you put all that money?
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
then wala ka namang, you don't see naman big projects
Opo.
being undertaken. Where did that money go?
So, Sec, ano po ang inyong advice ngayon sa lahat, lalo na po ng mga kabataan? Kasi kaninyo, matagal-tagal pa itong reforma na ating pong dapat nga sana ay inaasahan na po na mangyari, pero hindi pa rin po nangyayari. And the same issue po, corruption pa rin pinag-uusapan natin dito, magmula nung People Power 1. Ano po ang inyong advice sa mga kabataan ngayon? Sa mga, sa mga millennials, Secretary?
Yeah. Alam mo, Ted, now observe ko, the millennials are the ones now who are more vocal against corruption. And that's a very good sign. If that continues from that generation to future generations, I think we will finally see what we like to see in terms of governance.
Opo. Sana nga po. And lastly po, hindi kaya may problema po tayo sa ating pong demokrasya sa usapin po ng due process? Kasi sabi nga ni Presidente, they flaunt it now, no? Itong mga pagnanakaw na ito na para bagang wala silang takot. Parang walang takot, Sek, na may sa pananagutan.
Yeah. Well, I can't say much about that, but I think it's very essential that we adhere to the rule of law. And sometimes the rule of law requires due process, which necessarily takes time. Otherwise, you go into a dictatorship or an authoritarian system, which is probably worse than what we have.
Opo. Yun nga, ano? Yun nga lang siguro, dapat din pagtulong-tulungan natin na pukpukin ka ninyo, di ba, tutok-pukpok itong mga constitutional bodies na dapat nga po ang siyang nangunguna sa investigasyon ng korupsyon sa gobyerno, particularly the Ombudsman.
Yes. Ang kailangan, Ted, is really enforcement. Enforcement of the law. Not allow unlawful acts to persist.
Opo. Enforcement. Opo. At pagpapagana.
Yes.
At pagpapagana po sa ating institutions. May pahabol lang po ang tanong daw itong si Chacha. Ano, Cha?
Yes po. Sec, if you don't mind me asking, ilang taon na po kayo? Kasi talagang ang tindi pa rin po ng wisdom na nasa-share niyo po sa amin sa ngayon.
You won't believe it. Anyway, I'm 91.
Wow.
Chacha.
Wow. Oo.
I'm already 91. So, malapit na akong mag-graduate.
Wow. Anong sikreto? You don't look like you're 90. You speak. At nung nakita ko po yung mga litrato, kasama niyo po si Sec Vince. Para lang po kayong 51. Wow.
Thank you, Chacha. I'm flattered.
Opo. 91
Wow.
po si Secretary Ping de Jesus. Alright. So 91, sharp pa din po naman. And hanggang ngayon po, tumutulong pa rin sa bayan.
Amen. Sabi mo nga sa kanya,
Okay.
eto, technocrat.
Opo.
Di ba? Oo.
Opo. Salamat po,
Salamat
Sec,
po,
sa inyo pong
Sec.
panahon. At God bless you more and keep safe.
Ted, thank you too. And stay safe. Chacha, thank you.
Salamat
Opo.
din po.
Salamat po, sir, at mabuhay. Salamat po sa inyo pong sakripisyo para sa bayan. Mga kapatid, brothers and sisters, saan ka pa? Dito na tayo sa totoo. Dito na tayo sa True FM.
Mga kapatid, mag-subscribe and follow po kayo sa social media accounts ng True Network PH. Yan po kami, hanapin nyo lang True Network PH, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and podcast. Mapa Apple or Spotify man yan, mahahanap nyo kami. Lahat ng mga napapanood at napapakinggan nyo po sa programa, nasa social media accounts namin yan. So paano mga kapatid? See you sa social media!